What's good? It is Real WW Talk. And I'm Erin.
I'm Candice.
And I'm Rikki.
I love the build-up, Erin. I was like, it is.
Well, actually, what that was, it was stalling so that my brain would catch up to remind me what our name was.
Okay.
Because I almost said, "What's good Wednesday?" And I'm like,
I
it's
really
not.
wish you would have changed the name and seen if Rikki and I went with you and we're like, yeah. You know.
Oh, my brain is so scattered. My brain is so all over the place.
But you look really pretty, so it doesn't matter. I love your taste.
Gorgeous.
Girl, I went shopping at Marshall's.
Love it.
I got it at Marshall's. Wait, no, that's Ross.
That's Ross, which they just opened a Ross 5 minutes from where I live. And I'm like, I can't wait.
Oh,
Very
no.
exciting.
Watch out for Erin.
Watch out. Listen, I'm losing weight. I'm going to need some new wardrobe.
There you go.
Hey.
Name it, claim it.
That's right. Candice, whose turn is it to go first today?
It is Rikki's turn.
Wonderful.
Look at you. Step up to the plate. How's it been, Rikki?
Hi, ladies. It's been a good week. I've been, following my routines. I shared last week that I was getting up early to do my workouts, and I, intend to keep this pattern going. So I've been, doing that and, sharing my tracker, continuing that pattern, and things are good. I'm really, I love, it's easy to remember, or to forget really how it feels when you get up early, when you work out, and that feeling of, Candice, you kind of said it last week of like, oh my gosh, I don't have to do anything the rest of the day. Not that that means I shouldn't do anything the rest of the day, but just knowing that that's out of the way, I feel like it sets up the rest of my day for so much more success. And I feel like I do have an extra little boost of energy. So it's a good feeling and I'm going to keep doing it.
Yay. I love that. Oh, morning exercise converts are my favorite because it's an addictive, like you said, it's an addicting feeling to be able to say, I started off my day with a bang. It sets the whole tone, like you said, for the day. So, yeah.
Yay. Candice, how about you?
Yeah.
I posted last week that I found these protein chips. I'm so excited about them. I've been eating them for the past week since I posted about them. They're made of chicken breast, egg yolk, and bone broth. And they're amazing.
It's like a whole chicken.
It's like a whole chicken. 10 grams of protein. And they come in different flavors. And at first I was skeptical because they had it as like a free sample at Whole Foods.
These are for humans.
These are for human beings. Yes, not for dogs or cat. Yeah, it's actually for Homo sapiens. And I would actually dare say that you would like them because, Rikki, one of the flavors is chicken and waffles, and it tastes like chicken and waffles. Okay? For the human beings. I just love her. For Homo sapiens, like,
we're just impressed that you used the word Homo sapiens. Like, that's not the average word drop, let's just say.
But I happened to be eating them while we were talking, so I was like, here's the chip.
It's okay, can you hold that up to to your camera?
For those who are watching on YouTube, I mean, it crunches. Like, I want to do it crunches,
we can hear
right?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
getting no money for this. I want to be very clear. This is not an endorsement I am paid for. I actually have been looking for more protein-filled snacks.
Yeah, but if they do want to, we're open to that.
If you want to help you, look, because we love them. And if they don't know they love them, I'm about to go give them some. Okay. Because I was kind of done with the cottage cheese.
Are you really?
I'm not done with it. It's just I'm done with the hype over it. So now I'm all about the chicken chips. I'm all about the chicken chips.
I feel like some things just shouldn't be combined. Like,
Rikki, wait till you try it. Don't you knock it. I'm gonna come over.
I just love that that's coming from you, man.
I know. This is very how the tides have changed.
I'm just imagining you hiding them in the room. Like, I'm not eating the chicken chips, like, because it's one thing you can eat proudly, Anyway, yeah. Eat the chicken chips. That's what I've been doing for the past week. Is eating chicken chips.
Okay.
And also going for my walk still in the evening, which is great.
That's good.
Awesome.
So I'm keeping up with that, keeping up with my morning exercise and getting closer to my 40th. I think I've been going through this whole thought of the fact that I'll be 40 next month. And you know how you could do that whole reflection of like, oh my gosh, when you have these milestone years, everybody's big on what did you learn, and I don't have like anything profound other than I beat cancer.
I don't have anything profound other than I'm still alive and
I'm alive,
That
No,
sounds
it's not that profound.
pretty profound to me.
Right.
But like I feel like I'm supposed to say something else. Like I feel like I've played the cancer card like enough. Like everyone's over it now with me.
You've played it. But you can still use it. You still have
I would
the
use it for the
window.
rest of my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the window's still open for you to use that.
As long as I have stuff. So yeah, that's been me. But what about you guys? What about you, Erin?
Let me tell you, the 40 thing is a real thing because so now I'm a little more advanced than you ladies, just a couple years. I should by Candice.
I'm your elder. No.
I'm the elder. There was this moment that happened. I wouldn't say I had a crisis at 40 or turning 40, but all of a sudden it was like I was looking at I looked at my life differently because even though I just turned 40, it felt like 50 was very near. And it was this moment of, oh man, I don't know why that in my brain felt like such a crossover. That feels like such a crossover age that I've got 10 years to prep for it. And who do I want to be when I'm 50? What do I want to have happen? And I need to start looking at that now and start taking action now. And at the same point, I realized it was like a switch that just went off in my brain of, man, I'm a full-blown adult. Not like I wasn't one before, but like I am a full-blown adult responsible for every one of my choices. Again, not like I didn't have that before. It hit me differently. And at the same point, I am tired of putting up with things. Why have I been putting up with X, Y, and Z? I'm not doing that anymore. And it was the weirdest mental switch. And I've told two friends that who turned 40 about 6 months ago. And one of them came back to me and she said, hey, do you remember when you would say like when you turn 40, like there is like the switch? And I was like, yeah, like you're just not going to put up with nonsense anymore on things. She goes, it happened the other day to me. And I went and it literally binged in my brain, you saying, I'm not putting up with nonsense anymore. And I told that to somebody at work and they're like, wow, don't you sound old? She's like, no, I'm mature.
Don't use the O word. Okay.
No.
We are mature here. Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that to happen for you. I'm very excited for when it does for both of you.
I felt that way for a while. I mean, when I say the whole like, how am I qualified to like live this life? How did I get this old? Every time I look at my son, I'm like, how am I allowed to like parent you? I don't feel like I feel like I'm still a child. I'm still children. There's a meme that goes around like, how am I raising a child? I am a child, but I'm not. I fully embrace my adultness and owning my choices. And I think I had more of that empowerment when I left my job too. Like when I took a step and went in this direction. So I think the age and the milestone, I'm always reflective anyway, but with all the life experiences that I've had, it has had me doing a lot of, wow, here we go.
Yeah.
This is a big one. I really want to savor the moment, but also realize what do I want for the next few years for the rest of my life. So yeah.
That's so good.
What about you, Erin? How was your week?
Well, I hate to like come down from that and talk about a Fitbit.
40s, Fitbits,
whichever. Maybe that's a part. Maybe the Fitbit is part of my evolution of my 40s right now. It's been a couple intense weeks for me as I shared in the last podcast, and I'm still kind of working through some of that and exercise. So I will tell you that this is the piece that I'm working through for myself is when I have these like acute moments that my priorities feel like they shift. And I'm working through my weight loss priority, my personal weight loss priority. And then I have another thing that is really, it's a very looming, very present need to be dealt with because that's my responsibility and that's my job. And when that sometimes overtakes what I feel is another priority, who wins? What's the top priority when push comes to shove? And so I will just tell you that's been a battle for me because I'll come home and I'm like really exhausted. I have all of my food prepped. I have all of my food planned, which is great. But when it comes to the exercise portion, like I just don't even feel like I've got the energy to do that. but I know energy begets energy. And when I go for walks, it helps my brain. It helps me feel better. But sometimes it's so late, like it might be even 8 o'clock. And I'm like, I don't want to exercise because then I'm not going to be able to sleep well. And so it's having to choose between the sleeping well or the energy of the exercise. So I've been working to get those micro bursts of activity throughout the day to make up for not being able to do my full 30-minute walk or full 30-minute exercise. But I will tell you, I really like my full 30 minutes. And I want that. I really want that. And we make time for the things that we really want to do and we prioritize those things. So those are all the little, all those little things that are wrestling around in my brain right now.
I'm curious, Erin, when you said that one of the reasons why you are a little on the fence for the evening exercise is because it affects your sleep. Maybe I'm the opposite, but it doesn't. I feel like I sleep better when I get in like exercise. Is yours just the timing of it? It's so close to bedtime.
I think, yeah, because I go to bed usually at 9 or 9:30. Because now that I'm over 40, I went to bed at 9:30 when I was 30. So whatever.
Those were the years. Those were the years. Right? You were a party animal. I used to go to bed at 10:30 then.
Listen, my bestie and I, she sent me a Facebook message. She said, "Hey, we had dinner together." And she goes, "Hey, look, well, this day and time 12 years ago, we were doing dinner together. And then we went at 9:15 p.m. to go see Toy Story 3. Who were we?"
Yeah. Yes.
What was that?
Oh, who was that person? Yes.
So much. But I find that when I exercise in the evening, it keeps me amped up. It actually almost it's adrenaline and it keeps me awake. I don't sleep as well as night. So it doesn't knock me out. I wish that it did.
Okay.
I've heard that before. I've heard people say that, but I find that I don't do it often, but I think of times when I used to do like spin classes in the evenings or things like that. And I don't remember it keeping me up at night. So I wonder if it is different for different people, even though I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah, I definitely sleep more soundly no matter when I exercise, whether it's the morning or evening. I think I shared with you on the last podcast that I've been walking with my husband and son in the evening, and I've slept more with less interruptions. I weirdly find that when I'm not exercising, I wake up more throughout the night. But when I have gotten in movement and been active, I'll sleep straight through. And it doesn't matter when it happens.
And I will say that when I'm doing that type of exercise, I do sleep better. But if I do it right before I go to bed, it's kind of off and on.
Okay.
Which is bonkers. All right. Here's another question for you. And this is something I think for us to dive into today is points reset day. Now, we've talked before about our points reset day and the craziness that sometimes happens because all of our points reset on the weekends. So let me first ask you, why is Saturday your points reset day and not another day?
Rikki,
Well, for me, I'm a creature of habit. So since I've started, I had meeting days on Saturdays, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we didn't always have the option to change our weigh-in day. Like if you attended a meeting, that needed to be your weigh-in day for the purposes of, charges and things like that, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. So I'd like from that time on to now where it's digital and you can weigh in and you can change that day and go to meetings, multiple times a week. I'm just a creature of habit. And I feel like I do like the way it feels to reset on a Saturday, especially because I know that the bulk of my points are probably going to be spent on the weekends. It's worked for me. I mean, I don't know that it's always worked perfectly, but it's just what I've been used to. So I've continued it.
Yeah, I think I was similar. Mine started off because I picked a meeting on a Saturday, but I picked that meeting because I wanted to have my points reset and to have my full pay of points to use on the weekends, and then to be able to kind of, and I don't know if it's the best strategy, because it tends to, for me, sometimes cause me to overindulge on the weekends because I have so many points that are available. I tried once having my weigh-in day, because I've gone through the joke. We won't go through the cliff notes. Like, I've been to like 50,000 meetings, so I've had meetings on Mondays before, but I found that it just forced me to have to be more aware on the weekends, and I didn't necessarily want to do that. So I picked Saturday so that I would have the reset and the full amount of points on the times that I thought I might indulge.
Yeah, mine have always been on Saturday because that was the meeting that I went to. But ladies, I discovered that so little tippity tip for somebody, I have been paying the same price for WW since I started, 13 years ago or whatever. And then we found a deal that turned out to be less than what we were paying it. When you start, whatever price you join at, if new programs come out and they up the price, you get grandfathered in at the price that you pay, which is usually less. Well, WW's been doing all kinds of offers and sales. So we found one for $25 when we've been paying $40. So we all were like, forget this. We're going to become new members again.
Yep.
So we got the $25 price. But when I got the $25 price, it reset my weigh-in day.
Oh, interesting.
And I know. And then I went, well, I've never had a different weigh-in day. What if I did a different weigh-in day? And ultimately I moved my weigh-in day back to Saturday, but I seriously consider changing my weigh-in day to Friday.
Okay.
Because I have dinner with the family on Friday, and sometimes the dinner with the family might be pizza. And then, then you're carrying, the sodium and the carbohydrates and stuff like that. And so when you weigh in on Saturday, sometimes you don't always get the weigh-in you deserve the day that you deserve it. And I'm like, well, maybe I have a better chance on Friday of getting the weigh-in I deserve the day I deserve it. And so I really did think about changing it. I didn't. Ultimately, I changed it to Saturday from where it was. I think it was like on a Wednesday. It was kind of weird. But I'm still thinking about that.
Well, because it kind of begs the question, why does it matter so much? Because, I mean, I know, I get it. We want to make sure that the scale reflects our effort. And if we know that we had sodium the day before, we know that it can impact the scale. But for those who I'll speak for myself. I have to admit that I have a true fear. If somebody were to say, no, I want you to change your weigh-in day to Monday, I would feel like I was deprived over the weekend. And I'm curious about why I have that reaction to Monday weighers. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you want to deprive yourself? When really, is it depriving yourself, or is it just...
Are they depriving themselves?
Right.
I mean, if they've worked their plan throughout the week and they've got their extra points that they would want to spend on the weekend, to me, I would feel like it's like the same thing that I feel sometimes on Fridays when I know that I'm doing family things, that I might have a little bit more of indulgent on Friday. And so then I wake up on Saturday and I'm like, oh, dang, I know that I lost weight this week. And then I'll weigh on a Sunday and I'll get the weigh in that I should have had on Saturday. I wonder if that's how Monday people feel. I would love some Monday weigh-in people to tell us why they chose Monday. And if you're anything other than a Saturday, gosh, I would love to know.
Yeah. I think thinking about the Monday weigh-in, I think it would really, if it were me changing it, it would require me to really be stingy with my weeklies, because let's assume my Saturday, Sunday, where I might go to brunch or meet up with a friend, let's say that's not going to change. Well, Monday through Friday, I better save some weeklies for Saturday and Sunday. And I think the fact that when you're a Saturday weigh-in person, you don't have to think as hard about Monday through Friday, even though you should, because like, if you have a dinner in the middle of the week, or, somebody, maybe it's your birthday, you're going to have, you have to think about that instead of just diving into your point Saturday morning and to Sunday, and then having to regain your structure on Monday. So I think it would require a lot of organization and a lot of planning, which it should anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I see some benefits to doing that. Just really just cracking down on the planning.
And that was brought up actually during one of the virtual meetings I attended this week, because another change that we know that Weight Watchers made is in the app now, you can weigh in daily. And before, you can only weigh in once a week. So your weigh-in day was very important, right? For the things that we just talked about in terms of it reflecting accurately. But for those who are now daily weighers or who are tracking their weight more frequently, I wonder if the weigh-in day, that for that justification, if that's as necessary because you're weighing in often.
That's a great point. It's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the emphasis was always on that weekly weigh-in. That one weigh-in was like your determination of your weight for that full week, as opposed to, which, they've talked about before. If you weigh in daily and then take an average, then that's your true weight for the week.
Right. Because if I call myself out for the same things that Rikki, you just said, I think that it requires a higher level of being aware for me. And if I'm honest, I don't want to do that right now. But I also want the results that would probably give, which is why in the meeting that I was attending, the coach recommended to somebody who was struggling that they change their point reset day to Monday.
Wow.
As, hey, why don't you just see if that will bring forth some additional awareness to you, and cause you to not to figure out, and I was like, oh, that's some harsh feedback right there. Why would you do that? And I said, but wait a second, why does that feel so much like punishment? I really need to reflect on how I am viewing the weekend or how I am viewing the freedom I have for the points resetting on a Friday or a Saturday versus it starting at the beginning of the week, because I have to be good to save those points to have them reflect that if I were to do it on a Monday.
Right. And I think even the implication there is if I've got to do it to be good, it means that I'm anticipating that I'm going to be bad the rest of the time, which then means I'm actually not following the plan and doing the things that I said that I'm going to do.
Exactly. So yeah, it gets really deep because I when they threw out that whole thing with you can weigh in every day now, it really caused me to think about this whole weigh-in day thing.
Which I love that they're doing that, because they're taking this power that the scale has, and it's like, no, you can do this every day if you choose to, and just it's not a big deal, like trying to take the power out of
but I think they also can't say that they're backed by science when science and behavioral science has shown that daily weighing has a better benefit. And a lot of the other weight loss programs, Noom and other things, are talking about the benefits of daily weighing.
Right.
I think they probably realized that was a flaw. Now, some people still, and because Erin, I thought about what you said a few weeks ago, that you put your scale in the bathroom or in the bedroom, and
it's in a closet.
The closet. And how for some people they need a break from the scale or they need to not weigh in as frequently.
Yeah.
Others may find a benefit in destigmatizing the scale and seeing the number daily as a way of just daily feedback.
Yep. And I've tried both. And I think that for me, the space that I'm in right now is that the scale doesn't matter because when I am tracking, when I'm preparing my meals, I'm following my points and following my plan, the scale will go down.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't even need to look at the scale because I know that it's going to happen when I'm exercising, I'm drinking my water, I'm tracking all of those things.
Yep.
So it becomes a nice surprise. Like, oops, I forgot to weigh in this week. Well, you know what? I'll just give it another week. That's fine. It should be a nice surprise when I go in and get on the scale that, oh, hey, yep, that's great. I'm down and I'm feeling good, but it's not the key indicator. I'm not doing this to see the scale. I'm doing this for my health. That's the difference this time around, is not to see the movement on the scale, but to see the movement in me.
Yeah, because Erin, you said I'm down, but I feel good. It wasn't just, oh great, I'm down on the scale, because like you said, that it's not just about that. And when you are more focused on how you feel, how your behaviors and your patterns have changed, your attitude towards food maybe has changed, that is so much more meaningful and shows so much more growth than, the scale can ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll even just say from a like mental standpoint, like I know when I'm on and when I'm off, I would say when I'm on the plan, when I'm off the plan is I am very cognizant of the food, how I'm eating, what I'm eating, when I'm eating it. When I'm not, I'm just eating whatever's there. I go in and I rummage through a cabinet. I'll grab a little something. When I'm in, I'm not eating anything without it going in the tracker. And actually, I track it before it even goes in my mouth. So it goes in the tracker before it goes in me. If I'm off, it goes in me and it never goes in the tracker. And those are the key defining.
So what I'm hearing you say is that if I were to say I challenge the three of us to change our weigh-in day, our points reset day to Monday, that it wouldn't make a difference.
I think we
for
should.
where you are in the program right now. Do you feel like, what does that feel like if I were to say, let's do it? What would be some of the things that immediately?
I think it would make a difference. I do think it would make a difference. I think it would be, but in a sense of I would have to really buckle down on my point. I don't think I would see myself going over as much, or I would really be focusing more on my behavior, my food behavior during the week. Whereas I'm coming off of my first 2 days of tracking for that tracking week in the negative, and I'm still, maybe a little in the negative throughout the week. Like that's how my week is right now. So I think it would make a difference because I would be intentional about, sorry guys, I'm tired. I'd be intentional about how I spend my points on Monday. I think I would.
Yeah. I mean, I say, let's try it. Rikki, I'm with you. I'm at, just for the record, I'm at -31 in my weeklies right now. Just because I've had some, it's not surprise food, but I've had different dinner and stuff like that. So, but I've tracked, I've tracked all of it. That's the whole point for me is I'm tracking it.
Yeah.
It's not so much that it matters to me what the negative is, but I'm tracking it.
I was going to say, bravo, that you are at -31.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Bravo.
So I realized like my birthday week, I was like -100 and still managed to lose weight.
Progress.
So who knows what'll happen this week? I know that I have not been doing the exercise that I was doing when it was that week. So it may shake out a little bit differently. Doesn't matter. For me, this is about discipline, it's consistency, and it's habit, and it'll be okay. Yeah, Candice, I'm really intrigued to see how it will feel to do the weigh-in on Monday, and just how I organize points in my head over the weekend, thinking like I tend to kind of save it for that, but let's try it. I'm down for it.
Hands in for a Monday. We doesn't matter because there you go. In out.
Okay, hold on. Well, no, we got to count it down. Count it down. If you're on the podcast, we have our hands in.
Hands are in. 3, 2, 1. Monday weigh-in.
Monday weigh-in.
So we're gonna change it because I am
Monday weigh-in.
Rikki's like, yay! We do it after my events this weekend. Yeah. But I think that could be I'm just curious to see what impact it has.
Yeah.
For us, because I think that, go ahead, Rikki.
Question. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to take advantage of the system, but what happens? Just because I'm genuinely curious, our weigh-in day Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
If we let's say Saturday morning, I'm like, I want to change to Monday. Do your and let's say I use my weeklies Saturday and Sunday. Do I get a whole new set of weeklies?
Yes.
That Monday?
I can actually tell you the truth for that.
Okay.
I mean, for Weight Watchers purposes, it's just an app. So meaning they're going to just reset your points on whatever day you change your weigh-in day to. So let's say that you change it right now to say Monday, it's going to calculate whatever your points have been from this past Monday until Sunday. So it's going to start to do it immediately. Like if we go in right now, it's just going to update.
Okay.
So I think that's, and we know that it's a transitional week. So I wouldn't take, it's knowing that your points are going to be different than what you're used to. But I think it would be a really good way to see what the true effect is for us based on what we say versus how we actually change any behaviors based on the fact that we change the date.
Honestly, this is very landmark for us because this is over a decade of Saturday weigh-ins and having never changed it. So I feel
hard.
And don't you love that you can still, because they now have you where you can weigh in daily, you can still weigh in on Saturday.
Right.
It just means that your points are resetting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the bigger thing. Rikki is your fave.
Rikki's like,
Rikki is like, I'm not down for this. You've said it because of peer pressure, but you're not going to do it.
I mean, if I say I do it, I'm not going to not do it. I'm just going to begrudgingly do it.
I challenge you on that.
I'm not promising to
do it.
Smile.
Like, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sit here and smile about
smile and do it.
I am a lady of my word, so I will do it, but I will not do it happily.
You will not make me smile about it, okay? Anyway, my weekend weeklies. My weekend weekly. Well, it's not that we're taking them away. We just have to earn them.
No, we don't have to earn anything. They freely give them to us. We just gotta use them.
We have to keep
be
them.
Good disciples of them,
right? Good stewards of our weeklies. We need to steward, be shepherds. Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're off the rails. Okay, so we're agreeing we're going to start a Monday. Why don't we commit to a certain amount of weeks of doing this?
Do you want to commit? My birthday.
Okay, so that's what is that
August 13th?
That's like, what do we got? 4 weeks, something like that? A couple weeks? Okay.
Let's do a month.
Okay.
Are we changing them now? Are we changing it now in the app?
I mean, we can change it now in the app.
I'm going right now, and I'm
just going to your.
You go to food settings. You click on the little gear icon. You click on food settings, and you change your points reset day to Monday.
Here we go.
And done. There you go.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay. Well, it did just adjust my negatives. So that's just one thing for me.
In a good way?
Yes, it did.
That's okay.
Because it took off that weekend, but I know that I'm still in the negative. So,
exactly. We know intellectually that, we made a change. So.
Yeah. All right, listen, before we bounce, I want to give a shout out to Kristen, who is in the Real WW Talk Facebook group, because she posted that she just hit her goal weight.
Yay.
She's lost 54.4 pounds. And she's been struggling with the last 2 pounds, and it finally just happened. And so now she's going to work. She's already been working on maintenance, if you will, maintaining as she's losing. And she posted some really great advice. So if you pop into the Real WW Talk Facebook group, just search for Kristen's name in there, and I'm sure her post will float up to the top. But we just want to cheer you on, Kristen, and so glad you're part of the group. And thank you for sharing your success with us, and then also what you learned along the journey to that. That is some discipline, some consistency, some hard work. Get it, girl. Get it, girl.
I bet she's a Monday weigh-in-er.
Maybe. What if she's a Wednesday? I'd love to know that.
I know. She's got to share with us.
And then Joanne, she said, listening to our podcast made her take action and create a change for herself. And she was listening to one of our previous podcasts where we were talking about water. And she says that she has been struggling drinking water, and she took our suggestion to not make it your goal to drink more water, but to just track all the water that you drink. And so you've got awareness of what you have. And that will also encourage you, once you see how little and you're tracking it, it may encourage you to do more. So she said she started doing that, and now she's done it for a full week. And she started with drinking like barely any water. And now she's up to 2 32-ounce bottles of water every day. So yay, Joanne. Great habit change there.
Those Real WW Talk ladies sound pretty intelligent.
That was one of our rare moments.
Maybe I should listen to them and do what they say.
We're so bad. Listen, we would love you to join us in the Real WW Talk Facebook group. Please join us. Just search Real WW Talk on Facebook. We also have Instagram. And then we're on YouTube. If you want to join us on either of those platforms, of course, you can see what we look like if you watch our YouTube version of this, and also the podcast. So you can pop us in your pocket and go for a walk like Eva and Michelle and Laura do when they go for their little walks. So we love to be able to keep you company and share some thoughts with you. All the little things bouncing around in our heads.
Yep.
All right. Have a great week. And do us a favor, pop in the Real WW Talk group and let us know what your weigh-in day is and why you chose it, because we're fascinated by this. This is coming from some old dogs who have just made the decision for the first time in over a decade to change.
We're doing some new tricks. You can teach some old dogs new tricks.
Let's do it. All right. Have a great week.